Last week, my neighbor got handcuffed for something every American does without thinking twice. The cop said it happens daily, but most people have no idea they're breaking the law. What seemed perfectly innocent turned into a criminal charge that could have ruined his life forever. 1. Cannabis might be legal in your state, but the moment you cross that invisible line with your stash, you're committing a federal crime. Even medical marijuana patients with valid cards can't transport their medicine between states. Federal law doesn't care about your California prescription when you're driving through Nevada. Airport security will confiscate legal weed faster than you can say TSA. State borders turn legal users into federal criminals instantly. 2. Your concealed carry permit means absolutely nothing inside a federal courthouse. Walk through those metal detectors with your legally owned firearm, and you'll meet federal marshals who won't care about your state-issued license. Post offices are federal property too. That pocket knife you forgot in your jacket becomes evidence in a federal case. National parks have completely different gun rules than the state parks next door. One wrong turn makes your legal weapon illegal contraband. 3. Finding an eagle feather on a hiking trail doesn't mean you get to keep it as a cool souvenir. Federal law makes possession of any eagle parts a serious crime, even if the bird died naturally. Only enrolled Native Americans with special permits can legally own these feathers for religious ceremonies. The fines can hit $10,000 per feather, and yes, they'll prosecute you for picking up roadkill eagle remains. Wildlife officers don't mess around with this stuff. 4. Snap a photo in the wrong courthouse, and you might find yourself in handcuffs before you can delete it. Some jurisdictions treat unauthorized photography as contempt of court, leading to immediate arrest. Your smartphone becomes evidence, and they'll scroll through your entire camera roll. Media outlets need special permission that takes weeks to obtain. One innocent selfie in a federal building can turn into a criminal record that follows you forever. 5. Mailing that bottle of wine to your cousin in another state isn't just breaking postal rules, it's a federal offense. Private citizens can't ship alcohol through any carrier, period. Only licensed dealers with proper permits can transport booze across state lines legally. UPS and FedEx actively scan packages for illegal alcohol shipments using specialized equipment. Getting caught means hefty fines and possible jail time for what seems like a thoughtful gift. 6. Those sparklers you bought legally in Missouri become contraband the second you drive into Illinois. Fireworks laws change dramatically from state to state, turning innocent holiday fun into criminal activity. Forest rangers will arrest you for possession in national parks, regardless of where you purchased them. Some explosives are federally banned for civilians everywhere, no exceptions. Border Patrol agents specifically look for fireworks during holiday weekends when enforcement increases. 7. That rare wildflower you want to transplant to your garden might be protected by both state and federal endangered species laws. Picking or digging up protected plants can result in felony charges and massive fines. National park rangers use undercover operations to catch plant poachers who target rare specimens for private collections. Even collecting seeds from endangered species brings serious legal consequences. Conservation officers take these violations extremely seriously, treating plant theft like wildlife poaching. 8. National parks don't mess around when it comes to feeding wildlife. You might think tossing a granola bar to a cute chipmunk is harmless, but rangers see it differently. Animals that get used to human food lose their natural fear and become aggressive. They'll approach other visitors expecting snacks, which can turn dangerous fast. Bears are the worst offenders here. Once they associate people with food, they become problem animals that often have to be relocated or put down. Park officials increase patrols during busy seasons specifically to catch people breaking this rule. 9. Recording police seems straightforward until you realize the legal maze involved. Some states require you to announce you're filming, others don't. The real trouble starts when you get too close or start arguing while the camera rolls. Police can arrest you for interfering with their work, even if recording itself is legal. Standing on the sidewalk 20 feet away? Probably fine. Getting in an officer's face while shouting. That's asking for handcuffs. Then there's the footage itself. Posting it online can sometimes lead to lawsuits if it damages someone's reputation. 10. Setting up that garage sale on the sidewalk might seem innocent, but many cities consider it illegal vending. Public property has rules, and selling stuff usually requires permits. The fines can hit your wallet hard, sometimes hundreds of dollars for a simple violation. Police often patrol areas known for unauthorized street sales, especially during summer months when garage sales peak. Religious groups and nonprofits sometimes get exceptions, but regular folks selling old clothes or electronics, you're taking a gamble. Better check with City Hall first. 11. Hosting a party where minors drink can destroy your life, even in your own home. Social host laws make adults criminally responsible for underage drinking on their property. Doesn't matter if you didn't buy the alcohol or even know kids were drinking. If it happens at your house, you're liable. The consequences go way beyond fines and jail time. Families can sue you if their teenager gets hurt or hurts someone else after drinking at your place. Many states have zero-tolerance policies that make prosecution almost automatic once police get involved. 12. Mailing certain knives gets tricky because federal law treats some blades like weapons. Butterfly knives and switchblades top the banned list for shipping. Even worse are knives disguised as pens, combs, or other innocent objects. Postal workers sometimes spot suspicious packages and open them for inspection. Getting caught can mean federal charges, not just a slap on the wrist. The penalties include hefty fines and possible jail time. Online sellers have gotten into serious trouble for shipping restricted knives across state lines without proper licenses. 13. Using someone else's Wi-Fi without permission might feel harmless, but several states treat it as computer trespassing. Even if the network appears open, accessing it without the owner's consent can break the law. Repeated use makes it worse. Prosecutors can argue you're essentially stealing internet service. The fines reach into the thousands for some offenders. Homeowners who notice unauthorized usage on their networks can absolutely press charges. What starts as convenient free internet can end with criminal charges and a permanent record. 14. Spray painting that abandoned building still counts as vandalism, regardless of how deserted it looks. Property abandonment isn't a legal defense for graffiti charges. Cities use security cameras to track down artists, and the footage often provides clear evidence for prosecution. Even beautiful murals need the property owner's written permission to be legal. The charges can escalate to felonies if the property damage exceeds certain dollar amounts. Street artists face the same penalties whether they're tagging random walls or creating elaborate artwork. 15. Hawaii takes its agricultural laws seriously, flying in with that apple from the mainland, confiscated, packing some flowers for your aunt, gone. The state fights invasive species that could destroy native ecosystems. Agricultural inspectors randomly search luggage at airports and harbors. Even innocent souvenirs like seeds can trigger hefty fines. The rules exist because one wrong plant could ruin an entire island's delicate balance. 16. That cute fox you saw online isn't just an expensive pet, it's probably illegal. Most states ban wild animals as pets, including reptiles, monkeys, and big cats. Authorities can seize your pet and hit you with criminal charges. Some exotic animals need special government permits that cost thousands. Black market dealers exist, but they're heavily monitored. Your dream of owning a tiger, it could land you in serious legal trouble. 17. Those glass bottles filled with colorful beach sand make popular souvenirs, but taking sand from protected beaches is actually a crime. National parks and many state parks strictly ban the practice. Authorities patrol popular tourist spots specifically looking for sand thieves. What seems like harmless souvenir collecting can result in fines and prosecution. The sand removal also damages fragile beach environments, making the penalties even more justified by conservationists. 18. Your radar detector might be perfectly legal at home, but illegal the moment you cross certain state lines. Virginia and Washington, D.C. ban them completely for regular drivers. Commercial vehicles can't use them anywhere in the country. Police use special technology to detect when you're using illegal radar equipment. The fines can be steep, and some officers will confiscate the device on the spot during traffic stops. 19. Creating fake online accounts for scams isn't just unethical, it's criminal. Impersonating someone else violates state identity theft laws. Hacking and phishing schemes are prosecuted aggressively by federal authorities. Laws about online fraud have gotten much stricter as internet crimes increase. Convictions can mean jail time and massive fines. That fake Facebook profile used to trick people it could destroy your future career prospects and financial stability. 20. Sleeping in your car seems harmless enough, but many cities have banned it completely. Rules vary dramatically by location and neighborhood. Police often respond to calls about people living in parked vehicles. Breaking local overnight parking ordinances can result in arrest or expensive tickets. Some cities designate specific areas where car camping is allowed, but others have zero-tolerance policies that catch travelers completely off guard. 21. Railroad tracks might look like perfect hiking trails, but they're actually private property. Trespassing on train tracks is illegal everywhere and often prosecuted as a felony. Train companies actively pursue criminal charges against track trespassers. Being near active railways is incredibly dangerous. Trains can't stop quickly. Even taking photos on abandoned-looking tracks can result in arrest. The fines and potential jail time make this adventure extremely costly and risky. 22. High-powered laser pointers aren't just fancy presentation tools. They're federally regulated weapons in disguise. The moment you shine one at an aircraft, you've committed a felony that carries up to 5 years in prison. Pilots report thousands of these incidents annually, and the FBI takes each case seriously. Even ground-level use can blind drivers or pedestrians permanently. Some states limit sales entirely, treating powerful lasers like firearms. 23. Placing a sports bet seems harmless enough until you realize the legal maze varies wildly by location. What's perfectly legal in Nevada becomes a criminal act just miles away in Utah. Online betting apps track your GPS location constantly, blocking access the second you cross into restricted territory. Underground bookies still operate in many areas, but its using their services can result in arrest and asset seizure. Even winning money from illegal sites gets confiscated. 24. That fresh deer carcass on the roadside might look like free dinner, but touching it without permission breaks wildlife laws in most states. Game wardens require special permits for roadkill collection, and they're surprisingly strict about enforcement. The animal technically belongs to the state until properly claimed through official channels. Disease transmission is a real concern too. Some places allow collection with simple phone calls, while others ban it completely, making geography crucial. 25. Cracking open a beer in your passenger seat transforms your vehicle into a mobile crime scene in most American states. Open container laws don't just target drivers. Passengers get arrested too in many jurisdictions. The bottle doesn't even need to be actively consumed. Just having it accessible counts as violation. Party buses and limousines get special exemptions, but regular cars face immediate tickets. These laws emerged from drunk driving prevention efforts decades ago. 26. Drawing mustaches on dollar bills or flattening pennies on railroad tracks violates federal currency laws that most people never consider. The Secret Service investigates intentional money mutilation, though enforcement focuses on large-scale operations rather than individual artists. Vending machines increasingly reject altered coins, creating practical problems beyond legal ones. Collectors face fewer risks since preservation is the goal. But turning currency into jewelry or art projects crosses into illegal territory surprisingly quickly. 27. Owning the wrong fish species can land aquarium enthusiasts in serious legal trouble with wildlife authorities. Aggressive species like snakeheads or piranhas are banned in many states due to environmental concerns. The real crime happens when people release illegal fish into local waterways, disrupting entire ecosystems. Fines reach thousands of dollars per fish, and wildlife officials conduct surprise inspections at pet stores regularly. Some banned species look nearly identical to legal ones, making identification crucial. 28. Blasting music in public spaces triggers noise ordinances that carry surprisingly heavy penalties in many cities. Decibel meters measure violations scientifically, removing subjective judgment from enforcement. Police often confiscate speakers after multiple violations, treating them like evidence in criminal cases. Parks typically ban amplified sound after sunset, while residential areas maintain strict limits around the clock. The fines escalate quickly, sometimes doubling with each repeat offense within a calendar year. 29. Modifying your own phone or gaming console feels harmless enough. You bought it, right? Well, jailbreaking phones can actually violate copyright law under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Removing manufacturer software for resale crosses into illegal territory fast. Some states treat console modding as tampering with proprietary systems. Federal DMCA laws target specific types of electronic modifications. Car hacking brings even stricter penalties. Lawsuits from manufacturers aren't uncommon either. 30. CBD seems legal everywhere these days, but that's dangerously wrong. Not all states have legalized CBD products, especially oils containing any THC content. Age restrictions exist for purchases in many locations. Local laws change rapidly, making yesterday's legal purchase today's citation. Some areas ban CBD sales entirely near schools or government buildings. Breaking these shifting regulations can result in fines or confiscation. Always check current local rules before buying or traveling with CBD products. 31. One person's trash is another's treasure, except when it's behind a business. Dumpster diving on private property counts as trespassing, period. Business owners frequently call police for unauthorized rummaging through their waste containers. Food safety laws sometimes add extra violations to the mix. City ordinances may ban scavenging in certain commercial districts entirely. Court cases exist involving liability when people get injured while diving. Even discarded items technically belong to the property owner until trash pickup occurs. 32. Selling that old mattress seems straightforward until you discover the tag requirements. Most states require special labeling on all used mattresses before legal resale. Health departments regularly inspect secondhand stores for compliance violations. Sale without proper documentation is illegal in many jurisdictions. These penalties were created specifically to reduce dangerous bedbug infestations spreading through communities. Tag laws exist to protect buyers from unsafe, contaminated, or health hazardous sleeping products that could cause serious illness or pest problems. 33. Rescuing an injured bat or owl feels like the right thing to do. Many wild animals are protected by strict federal and state laws, though. Bats, owls, and countless other species require special handling licenses before any contact. Unauthorized animal handling may lead to immediate confiscation by wildlife officers. Health risks include rabies exposure, plus fines for potentially spreading dangerous diseases. Federal rules apply especially near nature reserves and protected cave systems where endangered species live. 34. Sharing leftover prescription pills with family members seems helpful and harmless. Giving or selling prescribed medications is actually a serious criminal offense everywhere. Even with the best intentions, charges can be surprisingly severe for offenders. Recent opioid crackdowns have made enforcement much stricter than before. Doctors are now required to report known cases of prescription sharing to authorities. Violators face substantial fines and possible jail time, regardless of their good intentions behind sharing medications. 35. Hunting during closed seasons might seem like a minor rule violation. Wildlife hunting seasons are carefully set by biologists to protect animal populations during breeding. Out-of-season hunting is prosecuted as a criminal offense in every state. Game wardens may confiscate weapons, vehicles, and hunting equipment from violators. Repeat offenders face permanent loss of hunting licenses and recreational privileges. Hunting protected or endangered species can escalate charges to felony level with years in prison. These laws exist for conservation reasons. 36. Building massive campfires seems harmless until park rangers show up with handcuffs. Most parks set strict limits on fire size, usually no bigger than 3 feet wide. During dry seasons, even small fires get banned completely. Rangers patrol at night looking for oversized blazes. Getting caught means you pay for the fire department's response, which can cost thousands of dollars. 37. Those cool red and blue LED strips under your car? Totally illegal in most states. Police reserve these colors for emergency vehicles only. Drive around with the wrong lights and cops will pull you over immediately. They might even impound your ride on the spot. Some officers think you're impersonating law enforcement, which makes things way worse for you. 38. Hidden cameras in bathrooms or changing rooms will land you in prison fast. Even recording someone in their own bedroom without permission counts as a felony. State laws protect people's reasonable expectation of privacy aggressively. Post those videos online and you're looking at multiple charges. Getting caught with spy cameras means years behind bars, not just a slap on the wrist. 39. Washing your Honda in the street might seem innocent, but cities hate it. Soap runs into storm drains and pollutes local rivers. Many towns fine people $100 or more for street washing. Code enforcement officers drive around looking for violators. Your neighbors might even report you. Most places only allow car washing in driveways where the water soaks into grass instead. 40. Public urination gets treated surprisingly seriously across America. Cities arrest people for this daily, especially near bars and festivals. Repeat offenders sometimes end up on sex offender registries. That's right, peeing behind a dumpster could ruin your entire life. Police patrol areas where this happens frequently. Finding a real bathroom saves you from criminal charges and public humiliation. 41. Claiming fake military honors is a federal crime under the Stolen Valor Act. Wearing unearned medals or lying about combat service can mean jail time. Using phony military status to get money or jobs makes it even worse. Law enforcement loves publicizing these arrests to shame offenders. Even posting fake military achievements online counts as fraud these days. 42. Tinted license plate covers seem like a minor issue until police start writing tickets. Many states ban anything that makes plates harder to read. Cops specifically look for these during traffic stops. Camera systems at intersections also flag obscured plates automatically. Plain black frames with dealership names stay legal, but anything else risks getting you pulled over for a costly citation. 43. Your weekly poker night with the guys? That friendly game where everyone throws in $20? Well, turns out many states consider this illegal gambling. The moment someone takes a rake or house fee, you've crossed into running an unlicensed gambling operation. Even without a rake, some states ban all home gambling entirely. Police have raided suburban poker games and filed felony charges against hosts. 44. Remember those magical balloon releases at weddings and graduations? They're actually environmental crimes in many states now. Those colorful latex and mylar balloons don't just disappear into the sky, they crash back down, strangling wildlife and shorting out power lines. Massachusetts fines violators up to $1,000 per balloon. Florida banned mass releases entirely after too many manatee deaths from balloon ingestion. 45. Flying your new drone around the neighborhood seems harmless enough, but get within 5 miles of any airport and you've broken federal law. The FAA doesn't mess around. They'll confiscate your drone and hit you with fines reaching $27,500. Commercial drone pilots need special licenses, and flying over crowds or stadiums can land you in serious federal trouble. That Instagram shot isn't worth the criminal record. 46. 4th of July fireworks seem perfectly legal, right? Wrong. During official burn bans, all fireworks become illegal, even sparklers and snakes. Police patrol neighborhoods specifically looking for violators during dry spells. Get caught and you'll pay for the fire department's response, plus face criminal charges if your fireworks start a wildfire. Some repeat offenders have gotten jail time for ignoring burn bans during drought conditions. 47. Walking across that scenic bridge for photos might get you arrested. Many bridges, especially near major cities, prohibit pedestrians entirely for security reasons. Post 9/11 laws tightened access to critical infrastructure, and bridge authorities don't joke around. Police patrol regularly and will ticket or arrest walkers on forbidden spans. The Golden Gate Bridge allows pedestrians, but many others will land you in handcuffs for simply trying to cross on foot. 48. Posting that funny photo of your friend online without asking? That's potentially illegal in many states. Revenge porn laws have expanded to cover unauthorized sharing of anyone's images, especially in private settings. Children's photos carry even stricter penalties. Parents have sued schools and other parents for posting pictures without consent. Copyright laws add another layer of trouble, since the photographer technically owns the image rights, not the subject. 49. Those leftover 4th of July bottle rockets you're saving for New Year's Eve? Most cities have specific time windows when even legal fireworks can be used. Outside those hours, police will cite you for noise violations and illegal explosives use. Many towns limit holiday fireworks to small sparklers only, banning anything that flies or explodes loudly. Enforcement gets especially strict after midnight when noise ordinances kick in. 50. Most people think they understand food safety laws. Cook it, package it, sell it. But here's what catches folks off guard. Selling homemade jam at a farmer's market without proper licensing can land you with hefty fines. States have cottage food laws that sound friendly but come with strict rules. You can't just whip up pickles in your kitchen and start a business. Health departments require inspections, special permits, and registration. Even that innocent bake sale might cross legal lines if you're not careful about local regulations. 51. Texting while driving seems obvious, right? Everyone knows it's dangerous, but the laws are way more confusing than people realize. Some states ban handheld phones completely while driving. Others only prohibit texting. Bluetooth might be legal in one state, but restricted for teen drivers in another. Police can pull you over just for holding a phone in many places. The fines double in school zones, and repeat offenders face license suspensions. What's really tricky? The rules change completely when you cross state lines during road trips. 52. Here's something that sounds completely backwards. Collecting rainwater can be illegal. Western states treat water rights seriously, and that includes rain falling on your property. Colorado and Utah have strict rules about rainwater harvesting. You might need permits for those innocent-looking rain barrels in your backyard. Some areas limit barrel size or require expensive licensing. The logic? All water belongs to downstream users first. Breaking these laws means fines and forced removal of collection systems. Drought-prone states are especially tough on violators. 53. Face masks became normal during the pandemic, but some cities actually banned them in certain situations. These laws existed long before COVID-19 as anti-crime measures. The idea was preventing masked protesters or robbers from hiding their identities. Many places added medical exceptions during health emergencies, but the original laws remain on the books in various cities. Wearing masks during protests might still trigger arrests in some areas. Police use these laws selectively, usually during tense situations or large gatherings where anonymity becomes a concern for law enforcement. 54. Bulletproof vests seem like reasonable self-defense gear, but the laws get complicated fast. Convicted felons face complete bans on owning body armor in most states. Even law-abiding citizens might need registration in certain cities. Using armor during any crime automatically adds extra charges and longer sentences. Online sellers must verify buyers aren't prohibited from purchases. Some states require permits similar to concealed weapon licenses. The reasoning? Criminals wearing armor pose greater threats to police officers during arrests or confrontations. 55. Blowing leaves into the street seems harmless, but many towns issue serious fines for this practice. Those leaves clog storm drains and cause flooding during heavy rains. They also create slippery conditions that lead to car accidents. City workers actively patrol neighborhoods during fall months looking for violators. Professional landscaping companies face even steeper penalties for dumping yard waste on public roads. Some areas require leaves be bagged for special pickup services. The fines fund street cleaning and drain maintenance programs that keep neighborhoods safe. 56. Flying foreign flags above the American flag violates federal flag code, though enforcement varies widely by location. Most violations aren't criminal offenses, but some states and localities have their own stricter rules. Government buildings face the toughest scrutiny, while private homes get more leeway. The flag code requires the U.S. flag fly highest when multiple flags are displayed together. Public schools and federal buildings may face inspections and required corrections. Some patriotic groups monitor flag displays and report violations to authorities, especially during national holidays or politically tense periods. 57. Planning your daughter's wedding reception in the backyard sounds perfect until 50 cars show up. Your neighbors start calling the city about noise and parking violations. Turns out gatherings over 25 people need permits in most places. The police arrive around midnight, not for noise complaints, but because you're hosting an unpermitted event. They can shut everything down and hand you a citation that costs more than the wedding cake. 58. That movie you downloaded last night? Someone's watching. Internet service providers track unusual download activity and report it to copyright holders. The film industry has entire departments dedicated to catching illegal downloads. They use specialized software to monitor peer-to-peer networks and trace IP addresses back to individual users. A single movie download can result in thousands of dollars in damages. The FBI takes large-scale operations seriously, treating them as organized crime. 59. Your golden retriever loves the freedom of running unleashed at the local park. but city ordinances require leashes everywhere except designated dog areas. Park rangers patrol regularly, especially during busy weekends when complaints spike. The fines start around $50 but can reach $500 in some cities. Aggressive breeds face stricter enforcement. Well, even the friendliest dog becomes a liability issue when it jumps on strangers or chases wildlife through protected areas. 60. Calling in sick with a fake doctor's note seems harmless until your employer decides to verify it. Forging medical documents is considered fraud in most states. The doctor's office has no record of your visit, and suddenly you're facing criminal charges instead of just losing a job. Employers can press charges for document forgery. Repeat offenders risk felony convictions. Medical professionals who participate in fake note schemes can lose their licenses permanently, making them unlikely accomplices. 61. Selling flower arrangements at the farmer's market seems like innocent entrepreneurship. Louisiana and Texas have other ideas. These states require florists to pass licensing exams and maintain permits for any commercial flower sales. Even small wedding arrangements fall under these rules. The fines can reach thousands of dollars for unlicensed flower sales. Enforcement usually happens when established florists report competition. Why do flowers need licenses? Apparently, arranging roses requires government oversight in certain states. 62. That dead tree branch hanging over your car looks dangerous, so you grab a saw and cut it down. Unfortunately, it's a city tree on public property, not yours. Municipal codes protect all trees on public land, including those between sidewalks and streets. Property owners get fined for damaging public trees, even when they're trying to prevent property damage. Environmental laws can add additional penalties. Tree removal permits cost money, but unauthorized cutting costs much more. 63. Parking in that empty, handicapped spot for just 5 minutes turns expensive quickly. Every state requires valid permits for handicapped parking spaces. Police patrol these areas regularly, especially at busy shopping centers and medical facilities. The fines are intentionally steep, often $200 or more. Using fake permits elevates the offense to fraud charges. Multiple violations can result in suspended driver's licenses. Some states deploy special enforcement units specifically for handicapped parking violations. 64. Pepper spray seems like basic self-defense, right? Well, not all states see it that way. Some limit canister size to 2 ounces max. Others ban certain chemical concentrations entirely. Michigan prohibits anything over 2% capsaicin strength. New York requires you to buy it from licensed dealers only. Getting caught with the wrong type can mean confiscation and fines up to $1,000. 65. That $20 bill might look real to you, but cashiers are trained detectives. Banks use special machines that catch fake money instantly. Even if you got counterfeit cash as change somewhere else, you're still in trouble when you try spending it. Store cameras record everything. Police track serial numbers on suspicious bills. The Secret Service investigates counterfeiting cases aggressively, and they don't care if you claim ignorance. 66. Finding a pretty feather on your hike seems innocent enough, but most bird feathers are federally protected under laws you've never heard of. Hawks, owls, eagles, even common songbirds fall under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act. Scientists need permits just to study them. One woman got fined $8,000 for collecting peacock feathers at a zoo. Rangers don't joke around with this stuff, and I didn't know won't save you from prosecution. 67. Pouring old paint down the storm drain might seem convenient, but environmental agencies take this seriously. Each gallon dumped illegally can cost you thousands in fines. Motor oil is even worse. It never breaks down naturally. Cities run special hazardous waste collection days for exactly this reason. Some people think diluting paint with water makes it okay. Wrong. Chemical contamination laws don't work that way, and cleanup costs get passed to violators. 68. Calling 911 to ask if your refrigerator is running isn't funny anymore. Emergency services prosecute prank calls as criminal offenses now. Swatting calls can result in federal charges and years in prison. Police trace every call using advanced technology that pinpoints your exact location within seconds. Dispatchers must treat every call as real, wasting resources that could save actual lives. Repeat offenders face mandatory jail time in most states. 69. Slapping a service dog vest on your pet doesn't make it legal. Real service animals undergo extensive training for specific disabilities. Airlines, restaurants, and stores can ask for documentation proving your animal's legitimacy. Fake service animal registrations flood the internet, but they're worthless legally. Business owners are getting fed up with fraud and calling authorities more often. Penalties include fines, removal from premises, and criminal charges for repeat offenses. 70. Typing "I'm going to kill you" on social media creates a permanent digital record. Police cyber units monitor threatening language across all platforms. Courts define true threats very broadly now, especially after high-profile cases. Even deleted messages get recovered from servers during investigations. Prosecutors don't distinguish between jokes and serious threats online. One angry tweet can result in felony charges, restraining orders, and years of legal battles that destroy careers and relationships. 71. Found a wallet stuffed with cash on the sidewalk. Your first instinct might be finders keepers, but legally you're wrong. Most states require you to turn found property over to police within a specific time frame. Keep that wallet longer than allowed, and you've committed larceny. The law doesn't care if you were planning to find the owner eventually. 72. Train hopping isn't just dangerous, it's criminal trespassing on railroad property. Those Instagram-worthy photos of people jumping freight cars can land you in jail faster than you'd expect. Railroad companies have zero-tolerance policies and actively prosecute offenders. The trains might look romantic, but the arrest record won't be. Plus, one wrong step means serious injury or death. 73. That perfect seashell or interesting rock in Yellowstone might seem like a harmless souvenir, but national parks strictly prohibit removing anything natural. Rangers check bags and issue hefty fines to violators. The leave no trace policy means exactly that. Even picking up a single pebble breaks federal law. Millions of visitors following your lead would destroy these protected areas completely. 74. Abandoning pets in public places isn't just heartless, it's criminal. Dumping dogs or cats at parks, roadsides, or shelters without proper surrender procedures can result in animal cruelty charges. Security cameras catch many violators, and witness reports lead to prosecutions. The fines aim to deter abandonment, but the real consequence is knowing you've traumatized an innocent animal that trusted you completely. 75. Running from police and ducking into someone else's building adds trespassing charges to whatever you were already fleeing from. Property owners often press additional charges after break-ins, even if nothing was damaged. Security footage helps police identify suspects later. The hiding spot that seemed clever in the moment becomes evidence of another crime. Better to face the original charges than compound them. 76. Those warning labels on spray paint aren't just suggestions. Recreational inhalant use is illegal, and stores can refuse sales to suspected abusers. Police treat huffing supplies as drug paraphernalia in many jurisdictions. The legal consequences pale compared to the health risks. Sudden death from sudden sniffing death syndrome happens even on first use. Brain damage occurs after just a few sessions. 77. Light up a cigarette in the wrong place and you're breaking the law, not just social norms. Indoor smoking bans carry real fines that can reach hundreds of dollars per violation. Airports, hospitals, and most workplaces have designated areas with strict enforcement. Even e-cigarettes and vaping fall under these rules in many cities. Repeat offenders face escalating penalties and possible ejection from premises. 78. Mailing threatening letters crosses into federal territory faster than you can lick a stamp. The Postal Service doesn't mess around with this stuff. Every piece of mail gets tracked, and threatening content triggers immediate investigations. Postal workers are trained to spot suspicious materials and report them instantly. Your fingerprints are all over that envelope, and mail fraud convictions can land you in federal prison for years. The "it was just a joke" defense doesn't work when it's written down and sent through official channels. 79. That backyard bonfire might seem harmless, but open burning laws are stricter than most people realize. Counties issue permits for outdoor fires, and violating burn bans can cost you hundreds in fines. During dry seasons or air quality alerts, even small fires become illegal. Fire departments actively patrol for unauthorized burning, especially when neighbors complain about smoke. Well, turns out your cozy campfire could become an expensive mistake. Special materials like plastics or treated wood make the penalties even steeper. 80. Selling homemade herbal remedies sounds wholesome until the FDA gets involved. States require licenses for most health products, even simple herbal teas. Labeling rules apply to everything you sell, not just food items. Those weekend farmers markets, they're sometimes raided by authorities checking for unlicensed vendors. Online sales make things worse since you're potentially breaking laws in multiple states. Your grandmother's secret recipe could land you in legal trouble faster than it can cure anyone's ailments. 81. That antique ivory chess set or shark tooth necklace might be illegal to own now. Many states have banned ivory, shark fin, and whalebone products completely. Customs agents at major ports use advanced scanning to catch these items. Even family heirlooms passed down for generations need special permits in some places. Federal and state laws work together here, creating heavy penalties for violators. The weird part is that items completely legal last year might get you arrested today. 82. GPS jammers seem like privacy tools, but they're federally banned for good reason. Police use mobile detectors specifically designed to catch people using these devices. The problem? Jammers don't just block your tracking. They disrupt emergency services and law enforcement communications too. Fines can reach thousands of dollars per device, and manufacturers often market them illegally as privacy protection. Makes sense that something disrupting 911 services would be taken seriously, right? Even having one in your car can trigger charges. 83. Lead ammunition restrictions catch hunters off guard in certain areas. Some states ban lead bullets to protect wildlife from poisoning. Modern technology makes it easier for wardens to trace illegal ammunition back to specific purchases. Hunters can lose their licenses permanently for using banned bullets. National parks run random ammunition checks during hunting seasons, while even sporting goods stores face fines for selling restricted ammo in protected zones. Those copper bullets cost more, but legal troubles cost way more. 84. Every tip you receive legally counts as taxable income, whether it's cash or credit card. The IRS expects full reporting, and unreported tips can mean back taxes plus penalties. Restaurant owners often track large cash tips for their own records. Bank deposits that don't match your reported income trigger audits automatically. State labor boards also enforce tip reporting rules alongside federal requirements. And the weird part is, even small amounts add up to serious money when the government comes calling for their share. 85. Connecting to that coffee shop's Wi-Fi seems innocent enough. But cracking paid networks at airports or hotels, that's a federal crime waiting to happen. These companies monitor suspicious logins constantly, and they're not just looking for password thieves. They're building cases. Getting caught means facing both criminal charges and civil lawsuits that can drain your bank account faster than you'd imagine. 86. Urban squirrel hunting sounds like a joke until you're explaining it to a judge. Most cities ban all hunting within their limits, period. Animal control handles pest removal, not you with a pellet gun. Neighbors call police faster than you can say dinner. Even rural-looking suburbs often have strict no-hunting ordinances. That backyard BBQ suddenly becomes evidence in a weapons violation case. 87. Legal weed state doesn't mean legal everywhere in that state. Federal parks operate under federal law, where marijuana remains completely illegal. Park rangers don't care about your medical card or recreational purchase receipt. They'll ticket you just like it's 1995. RVs get searched, campsites get monitored, and those natural hiking spots aren't as private as they seem. State laws stop at federal property lines. 88. Skipping highway tolls might feel like beating the system until the system beats you back. These aren't just fines anymore, they're theft charges. States share toll evader databases, so your unpaid Delaware bridge toll follows you to Florida. Rental car companies track every missed payment and bill you triple. Police can pull you over just for having an unpaid auto tag violation on their scanner. 89. That bald eagle logo looks perfect for your new business, right? Wrong on multiple federal levels. Only specific groups can legally use eagle symbols commercially. School mascots need special permission. Businesses face severe intellectual property penalties that go way beyond copyright infringement. The government reviews eagle designs before approval, and they take this seriously. Your patriotic pizza shop could become a federal case study in wildlife protection law violations. 90. Organizing a quick raffle for your kid's soccer team fundraiser sounds harmless until state gambling regulators show up. Most states require special permits for any raffle, even tiny ones. Charity raffles get heavily regulated to ensure fairness. Winner selection must be documented and completely random. For-profit raffles are either banned outright or controlled tighter than casino operations. Criminal cases get filed regularly for innocent illegal lotteries. 91. Freeing that trapped raccoon makes you feel heroic until wildlife officials press charges. Many states require permits to release trapped animals. Trappers own legal rights to their catches, and unauthorized rescues can bring serious criminal charges. Wildlife officials decide which injured animals get helped and which don't. Your good intentions don't matter to the law. Call local authorities first or risk becoming the one who needs rescuing from legal trouble. 92. Your sidewalk garage sale seems harmless until city inspectors show up with clipboards. Most municipalities require vendors to keep walkways completely clear for pedestrian traffic. That folding table blocking half the sidewalk? That's a violation waiting to happen. Emergency vehicles need access too. Cities don't mess around with obstruction fines. They can hit your wallet hard, especially if you're a repeat offender who ignores the warnings. 93. Stapling your band's concert flyer to that telephone pole feels like free advertising, but it's actually illegal in most cities. Public property isn't your personal bulletin board. Traffic and utility poles are off limits for good reason. They need to stay visible and functional. Even those lost cat posters get removed by city workers who patrol regularly. Well, at least you tried to spread the word about your garage band's debut performance. 94. The gun store clerk asks routine questions, but lying on that federal form isn't worth the risk. Every firearm purchase triggers an FBI background check that cross-references your answers with official records. Convicted felons, domestic violence offenders, and people with certain mental health issues are permanently barred from legal purchases. Falsifying information is a serious felony that guarantees you'll never legally own a gun again. The system catches liars. 95. Standing on the interstate shoulder with your thumb out might work in movies, but most states ban hitchhiking on major highways for safety reasons. Police patrol these areas specifically looking for hitchhikers to ticket or arrest. The fines add up quickly for repeat offenders. Those no hitchhiking signs posted at state lines aren't suggestions, they're legal warnings. Your best bet is finding rides in town or using actual transportation services instead. 96. That retired police cruiser looks cool, but keeping the official decals and emergency lights will get you arrested for impersonating an officer. Law enforcement agencies strictly control how decommissioned vehicles can be modified. Private security companies face even tighter restrictions on car appearance. Using police-style equipment during any crime automatically increases your charges. Some states allow vintage police cars at car shows, but only with proper permits and clear identification as replicas. 97. Sending fake invoices to random businesses might seem like easy money, but mail fraud investigators track these schemes aggressively. Companies report suspicious billing immediately, and the Postal Service cooperates fully with law enforcement. Document forgery charges often accompany the fraud case. Federal prosecutors love these cases because they're usually easy to prove. That cleaning services bill you never provided? Yeah, they'll find you and prosecute to the fullest extent possible. 98. Radio towers look like great climbing challenges, but they're federal property with serious trespassing penalties. These structures are heavily monitored and surrounded by warning signs that aren't kidding around. Utility workers carry special identification and authorization to access tower areas. The fencing exists for your safety and legal compliance. Prosecutors throw the book at tower climbers to deter copycats who might interfere with critical communications infrastructure or get themselves killed. 99. Most rideshare drivers think they're covered by their personal car insurance. Wrong. The moment you pick up paying passengers without proper commercial licensing, you're breaking state transportation laws. Police run undercover stings targeting unlicensed drivers, especially near airports and busy downtown areas. Getting caught means hefty fines, possible vehicle impoundment, and your regular insurance might refuse to cover any accidents that happened while you were operating illegally. 100. Tossing that cigarette butt out your window seems harmless until you get slapped with a $500 fine. Many states have ramped up anti-littering enforcement with hidden cameras and spotters positioned on highway overpasses. The weird part? Some officers use helicopters to track litter bugs and radio ahead to ground units. Repeat offenders can actually lose their driving privileges in certain states because apparently keeping trash in your car is considered a basic responsibility of vehicle operation. 101. Those shiny diplomatic license plates look official and important, but slapping fake ones on your Honda Civic will land you in serious legal trouble. Only actual diplomats with verified credentials can use these plates, and law enforcement databases instantly flag unauthorized vehicles. Police treat fake diplomatic plates as fraud, not just a traffic violation. The penalties include vehicle impoundment and potential federal charges, since you're essentially impersonating an international official to avoid traffic laws and parking tickets.